To tolerate or excuse a war crime or a crime against humanity is to lose touch with your own humanity and become corrupted, degraded, vicious. The evidence is overwhelming that Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth committed a war crime in Iran by bombing a girls' school in Manab, killing about 150 people, mostly students, and wounding almost 100 more. They should face justice. There's been a great deal of noise lately about crimes against humanity. I think we become desensitized to them. They are so numerous and sometimes reported so casually. The idea began with the Nuremberg Code in 1947, when surviving Nazi leaders faced justice for their behavior as individuals during the war. There was attention paid to the special case of trained medical professionals who conducted cruel and horrific experiments on vulnerable human beings, such as concentration camp inmates. As a medical professional myself, I have inherited this responsibility. I'm thoroughly trained in the principles of protection of human subjects for research, the importance of voluntary consent to participate, the ethical principles of respect, of doing good, of just treatment for humans who agree to participate, even to give a spit sample or answer a questionnaire. All my trainees and all my colleagues who work with me on human samples must receive this training and certification by U.S. law. There are very good reasons for this. Apart from wanting to avoid behaving like Nazi doctors, when Americans became aware of the experiments conducted on black men in Tuskegee, Alabama between 1932 and 1972, where doctors let syphilis progress untreated to observe the disease course, there was national outrage about the obvious racism of the design and the lack of informed consent by the men. Partly this was because America was ready to accept that medical racism was real and pervasive, and the public was ready for change and wanted just treatment for all Americans, not just white men. Since then, we've come to appreciate that research is forbidden with people who cannot give informed consent, meaning that they cannot understand what they're being asked to participate in, such as young children or seniors with dementia, or who are coerced into participation, such as prisoners or students or employees, or other people who are somehow forced to comply. We also understand that cruelty, unjust treatment of the vulnerable, coercion, and yes, war crimes and crimes against humanity are degrading, not just to the victims, but to the perpetrators. Since Nuremberg, our culture has developed a moral sense of how people should be valued as persons, how to respect autonomy and choice, and human bodies. There is a reason we do not kill people with mental illness and harvest their organs because there's a shortage of hearts and kidneys. There is a reason that we do not grow children in order to harvest their eyes and livers for transplant, despite the very lucrative market if anyone actually decided to monetize the body parts of healthy children. We recoil in horror at these ideas because we have not yet been degraded to accept them as normal. But there's no reason other than our collective agreement and memory of the worst things that happened during the Holocaust to prevent any of this. What is the natural stopping point between excusing a war crime or saying the Iranians bombed their own school and proposing compulsory sterilization for Muslims? Our own moral code is under attack and crumbling. It will be very easy to excuse the ethnic cleansing of Gaza, the building of Trump golf resorts, once you accept the cruelty, the corruption, the viciousness, rendering the dehumanization of Palestinians so ordinary. Pete Hegseth is notorious for casting aside the politically correct rules of engagement, declaring that fishermen and boats can be blown up because there's no quarter, urging American forces to discard the rules of war. There's no natural barrier here, not to execute all Iranian prisoners of war, should there ever be any, not to drop poison gas on Iranian schoolchildren, not to drop a nuclear bomb on Tehran. Down this path, there is no bottom. But Hegseth here is just the messenger. He carries Trump's invitation to Americans to debase themselves, to wallow in the cruelty, thrill to the sadism. Let's face it, it's exciting to chant, "Lock her up," or "Duce, Duce." We are back in the Colosseum, pelting the Christian martyrs with rocks and cheering for the lions. The Roman emperors certainly understood their public. We've already seen this kind of behavior in the enthusiasm of some Americans for the ICE reign of terror in Minnesota, the pleasure of watching people suffering and dying in Alligator Alcatraz, the glee of pushing mother and baby back into the Rio Grande behind the concertina wire. The Gulf War is a danger to the whole world, yeah, but America is uniquely in danger of a new, vicious, swaggering, sadistic public spirit that will turn us, into the defendants in 1947, if we go along with it.